Imagine a courtroom in Memphis, Tennessee, on a sweltering morning, April 4, 2025, the kind of day where the sun beats down like a gavel, and the humidity wraps around you like a noose. The room's a tinderbox, high ceilings yellowed by decades of cigarette smoke, oak benches groaning under a packed gallery of locals, their faces a mix of curiosity and unease. The air hums with the lazy whir of ceiling fans, barely cutting through the heat that clings to every surface. At the plaintiff's table stands Sarah Jackson, a black woman in her late 30s, her navy suit pressed sharp against the chaos, her short locks framing a face etched with determination. She's here on a civil suit, a black teen, Tyrell Washington, 16, roughed up by police, his mother's anguished plea pulling Sarah into the fray. Her voice is steady, cutting through the murmurs. "Officer Mitchell, explain why you used force on a minor with no weapon." Across the room, in the witness stand, hulks Daniel Mitchell, a white cop with a square jaw and eyes like flint. He's 34, a decade on the force, his uniform crisp, his posture radiating a cockiness that's been unchallenged too long. The judge, a wiry white man named Hargrove, calls for order, but Mitchell's boiling, Sarah's questions too precise, her presence too commanding. "You don't get to grill me," he snarls, loud enough to rattle the windows. Then, in a heartbeat, he's out of the box, his fist slams into Sarah's face, a brutal crack that splits the air. The gallery erupts, shouts, gasps, chaos swallowing the calm, but Sarah doesn't crumple. She rises, blood dripping from her nose, and locks eyes with him, her voice a low thunder. "You just made a mistake." What unfolds next? It's not just a fight, it's a revelation that'll turn Mitchell's world to ash and ignite Sarah's into a beacon. Stick with me, because this isn't just a courtroom clash, it's a war against a system built to break her, and you won't believe how she stands tall. Let's rewind, set the stage proper, because a moment this raw has roots that twist deep into the earth. Sarah Jackson didn't stumble into this courtroom, she carved her path here. Born in 1986 in Memphis's Orange Mound, a neighborhood where hope was a flicker in the dark, she grew up in a shotgun house that shook with the bass of passing cars and the prayers of her mother, Ruth, a seamstress who stitched resilience into her daughter's soul. Her father, James, swept floors at a downtown hotel, his hands rough but his dreams big. He'd tell Sarah, "You're gonna be somebody, baby girl." School was a gauntlet, teachers who pegged her as trouble, classmates who mocked her thrift store shoes, but Sarah devoured books like they were armor. She graduated top of her class at Melrose High, then Tennessee State, then joined the Memphis PD at 22, a rare black woman in a force thick with old boy networks. She climbed, patrol to detective to deputy chief in Nashville, her nights spent studying law, her days busting cases others dodged. 3 days ago, she took the helm as Memphis's new police chief, the first black woman to lead, her swearing-in hushed for a big reveal. Today, she's here incognito, testifying for Tyrell, whose busted lip and bruised ribs scream Mitchell's name. She didn't plan to unveil herself, not yet, but fate's about to deal her a wild card. Now, let's meet Mitchell, because he's not just a cop, he's a relic of a rotting order. Daniel Mitchell grew up in Tipton County, 40 miles east, in a clapboard house where the Confederate flag hung like a prayer. His father, a deputy, drilled him early, laws about control, keep M in line. He joined the force at 24, a rookie with a quick temper and a taste for power, his record a patchwork of brutality complaints, black teens, mostly, buried by a precinct that winks at its own. I've studied his kind for decades, men who see the badge as a crown, their bias a reflex they don't question. To Mitchell, Tyrell was a punk, mouthy, black, unafraid, and Sarah? She's worse, a black woman with poise, daring to challenge him in his domain. The case? Tyrell's mom, LaToya, sued after Mitchell slammed him into a wall for resisting, a kid with straight A's, no rap sheet, just a backpack and a glare Mitchell couldn't stomach. Sarah's questions: where's the body cam, officer? Why no de-escalation? Slice too deep, and he snaps. The punch lands, swift, vicious, a crack that hushes the room for a split second before it detonates. Sarah's head jerks back, her hand catching the table, blood trickling onto her suit, staining the navy dark. The gallery's a riot, black spectators leap up, yelling, "Hell no," white ones freeze, mouths agape, a bailiff stumbles forward, too slow. Mitchell steps back, smirking, chest heaving. "That's what you get, acting big," he spits, spit flecking his lip, expecting her to recoil, call recess, let him strut out. He's wrong. Sarah straightens, wipes the blood with her sleeve, and fixes him with a stare that could melt steel. "Bailiff," she says, voice steady as stone, "arrest this officer, assault on a court official, contempt, and anything else we can stack." Ruiz, the bailiff, a wiry Latino with a decade under his belt, hesitates. Mitchell's a brother in blue, but Sarah's glare is a whip. "Do it." Ruiz snaps cuffs on, Mitchell's smirk twisting to a howl. "You can't touch me, I'm the law." Hargrove bangs his gavel, face pale, but Sarah's not done. "I'm Sarah Jackson, Memphis Police Chief," she says, voice rising over the din, "and you, Officer Mitchell, just hit your new boss." The room implodes, shouts, gasps, a clerk dropping her pen, a reporter bolting for the door. Let's linger here, because this is where the past roars in. I've spent years tracing these threads. Courtroom violence isn't rare, just cloaked. Think of Judge Isaac Chrisman, 1890s, shot in his Arkansas chambers for ruling against a mob, or the 1968 Chicago 7 trial, cops dragging Black Panthers while judges sat mute. Sarah's clash is modern but primal, a black woman not just surviving but seizing control. Mitchell's fist? It's a reflex of a system that's coddled him. Stats show cops face charges in under 3% of brutality cases, per a 2024 DOJ report, their privilege a shield. Sarah's shattering that, and it's caught on tape. Someone's phone streams it, X lights up, cop punches new chief, she's black. 2 million views in an hour, protests brewing by noon. Here's a subplot to thicken the stakes. Enter Officer Greg Miller, 40, a white cop from Mitchell's squad, watching from the gallery's back row. He's a schemer, sour at Sarah's rise, a loyalist to the old boys who ran the precinct like a fiefdom. Hours after the punch, with Mitchell suspended, Miller plots, discredit her, keep the department theirs. That night, he tails her to her Orange Mound home, plants a baggie of weed in her car's trunk, calls in a tip, "Chief's dealing, check her ride." But Sarah's not alone. Her deputy, Lieutenant Carla Evans, 35, a black woman who's been her shadow since academy days, smells the rat. Carla's a tech whiz, pulls precinct cams, catches Miller's gloved hand in the act. She confronts him at shift change, footage in hand. "You're done, Greg." Miller sweats, stammers, "It was a prank." Sarah's voice is ice, "Not to me, or Tyrell." Back to the courtroom storm. Mitchell's hauled out, bellowing, "I'm untouchable." Sarah's calm cuts through, "Not today." Ruiz locks him in a cell, the gallery a tempest, black folks chanting, "Justice now," white ones muttering, "She's too much." The clip's viral, 5 million views by dusk, protests clogging Union Avenue. But the backlash bites, cop unions decry tyranny, ex-trolls spew, "She baited him." Threats flood her inbox, quit or bleed. She's home that night, ice on her nose, Carla brewing coffee, Jamal, her husband, a mechanic with hands like oak, rubbing her shoulders. Their son, Malik, 12, peers from the hall, scared. They'll ruin us, Sarah whispers. Jamal's firm, they'll try, and fail. Miller's crew digs, old tickets, rumors, nothing sticks, she's granite. Let's weave in history. Think of Ernest Withers, 60s, snapping Memphis's civil rights scars, beatings, marches, hope. Or Fannie Lou Hamer, 64, battered for voting, her voice shaking Congress. Sarah's their echo, her stand a flare. My take, after decades of this, systems prop Mitchell's, till a Sarah rips the veil. Controversy, did she escalate too quick, or was this her only play? I say it's justice, raw, unbowed. If that lands, smash that like, share it, the waves rising. The fallout's tectonic. Mitchell's charged, assault, hate crime, abuse, jailed after a fast trial, 3 years, his badge ash. Miller's probed, tampering, conspiracy, suspended, career dust. Sarah's a lightning rod, hero to millions, villain to some, protests clash, Sarah rules, versus Blue Lives. The video hits 15 million views, sparking a PD overhaul. She testifies, nose scarred but head high, I'm here for Tyrell, for every soul we've crushed. At her public swearing-in, Tyrell's in the front row, safe now, her voice steady, this badge serves, not strikes. What's the lesson? Years of stories taught me, justice waits for the fearless, Sarah's steel, Carla's loyalty, they're the cracks in the beast. Systems shield the wrong, till the brave break through. Debate, does one chief shift it, or just shake it? I say it's a spark, slow burn, big blaze. Picture Sarah, badge gleaming, hugging Malik, Jamal at her side, Tyrell smiling. That's not just honor, it's the fight won. If this moves you, hit that like, share it wide, this is our story, still burning.